Hello guys, my name is Clermont. Okay, so yeah, today I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, I have to talk about the factory. So I had issues with the factory. So basically, the way this chunker unloader works, let's see it here. So the advantage of here, like as you can see, when this guy gets pushed, this piston is also pushed here, so this observer locks this hopper. That means that this chunker never enters this hopper, so it always enters this, because this is locked when this piston is pushing. That is important. But the problem is that when I tile them like this, is that sometimes, like let's say here, so let's say this chunker gets broken, so it's possible that this hopper may pick this chunker, which is a bad idea, because if it does, then the hopper minecart will take the chunker, and maybe that means that this will get broken, the recipe will get broken. So I found that there were several recipes that were broken because of the chunker, which was really annoying. So the recipes that were broken were the chests. So there was basically a chunker here. So that meant that this was filled with the wood. So then I realized and I had to remove the chunker here. There was also a chunker here, but I wasn't crafting on so much decorated pots, so it didn't matter. But the recipes that did broke completely were like, basically the recipe breaks like this. So when it breaks like that, then it's bad news. So yeah, another recipe that wasn't quite working like I expected, was the sticky pistons. So I realized the sticky pistons weren't crafting. So before, I think I still have the schematic. Redstone Factory, yeah. So before, I used to have like here a iron block and then a repeater that was facing this. The problem with doing it like that way is that this hopper gets locked. So when that happens, what I want is to craft pistons. Every time a piston gets crafted, then I want to craft one sticky piston. The problem is that that doesn't happen all the time. Like, let's say the idea is that I should never get like overflow here, because and at some point this was completely filled. So all of this was filled with pistons, and that's not good. Because that meant that I didn't have these comparators. You can see I now have these comparators. So this comparator basically tells the crafter, hey, stop crafting when there are items here. The problem with this system is that if this ever fails, then this will stop crafting sticky pistons altogether. It will never craft more, which isn't good for me. So what I want is that each time this crafts one of these, I should craft one of these. So yeah, right now I'm getting the signal from this, so I changed it and used a redstone torch. The advantage of the redstone torch is that when this unlocks, this will power this. But I think it's still not perfect, because you guys saw like we got some sort of overflow, which isn't good. Let's throw this. We still have a lot of sticky pistons, so it hasn't affected so much. But yeah, the comparators finally filled. We have the repeaters, the redstone torches, the tripwires, levers, and I think this, yeah, hoppers. But yeah, it's good that I checked the factory, because I hadn't checked it in a long time. But yeah, I forgot to mention to finish the idea here. So since this sometimes pushes the chunker, then I'm hoping that this hopper minecart will pick the chunker. So the moment this gets close to here, then I'm hoping that this hopper minecart will pick the chunker and it won't go into these other places. But yeah, another thing that I can do is just that like replace like this top layer with chunkers, because the advantage of chunkers is that Shulkers can't enter shulkers. So if I put a shulker here, then it won't happen that a shulker will get in that crafting recipes. It was the problem that I was having. Okay, so yeah, we have to. I have been AFK to get resources for the factory, though I really don't need a lot of resources any longer. Like I have been completing almost all the chests, all the barrels. Oh, are you kidding me? It hasn't even completed. Oh, no, look at the shulker. That's why I never have. For some reason this isn't saving the shulker. I'm losing my shulker. Why? Makes no sense. I hate how they changed how the chunk borders look. So now it's harder to see where the chunk starts and when it ends. Yeah, this is loaded. But for some reason sometimes the shulker doesn't get saved. Okay, for the farm of the hour, so yeah, we need dripstone to complete the Dripstone Factory. The Terracota Factory. So yeah, this is the very simple design of a Dripstone Factory. It basically just uses like flying machines to break the dripstone, and then everything gets collected using minecarts, and everything gets spat here, and it's loaded into a shulker by, I think this is like 6 times the speed. So yeah, it uses droppers, so it has 1, 2, and 3 droppers that are loading the shulker. We can see if we have this. Yeah, we can have all this amount of dripstone. So let's show the farm working. So we will press it and see. As you can see, we sent the minecarts at the start. Everything gets broken. Then the minecart return. And they take a lot of the dripstone. And everything gets spat into this water. And then it starts getting loaded. So it gets picked up. You can see. Keeps going. Picks that. And returns again. And takes the rest. Then it returns and everything gets loaded. So we can see how fast the shulker is loading. Like here. So this should be like, I think it is 6 times hopper speed. So yeah, it's really fast. That's the advantage of this kind of loader. So this isn't my design of the shulker unloader. Oh, shulker loader. I don't remember what's the designer of this. But yeah, the rest of the Dripstone Farm is my design. Basically, most of it. Like some mechanics are like clearly copies of what we have already seen. Like this is Ilmango's minecart unloader. Basically, these cauldrons have lava, and when the upper minecart gets close to here, it gets glitched into this minecart rail, which clips the minecart with the lava cauldron. So the items get spat here, and the upper minecart gets spat here, and all the upper minecarts will stay here until I send a signal. So basically, I just push all these pistons, all these observers into here, which will power this and send the items. They will go here and return. So what I have here is a pulse extender. So this basically allows me for the minecarts to go, return, go, return, go, return, and stop. So this goes down. And then it's just waiting until this fills. So basically for the Terracota Factory, I need like 3.2 pointed dripstone, and already, as you can see, have enough to build the Terracota Factory. But the Terracota Factory is going to be a ginormous build. But yeah, I already have enough, and as you can see, what I did, I chunk loaded all the chunks. So I have this chunk loaded and this other chunk loaded. I have this other chunk loaded, and there should be another ender pearl here. So yeah, I have all the chunk loaders from this farm working. So even though I AFK at the gold farm or at other farms, then this is still giving me dripstone, which is what we want. So let's go to the Redstone Factory. So yeah, we pretty much have already stopped crafting a lot of materials. Yeah, we completed the sticky pistons. So as you can see, we already have enough sticky pistons to fill the barrel. We are close to getting all the pistons. We already got all the droppers. The dispensers we are missing, as you can see, 4 chokers. Observers are complete. These guys, target. This I still haven't gotten this. I think I will make a drowned farm because I don't want to mine chokers of gold, of copper blocks just to fuel this factory. We have daylight detectors, redstone lamps, hoppers, chests. This I moved the decorated pots that I had here, so yeah, we no longer have a lot. Composter, we are close to finishing the composters and a lot of crafters. But yeah, this is working pretty well. You can see, I think all the recipes should be fine at the moment. Let's see. This is working now because I gave it a choker. Dispenser, I don't know why dispensers are the recipe for dispensers are breaking. Yeah, you can see how it should work. So when it runs out of cobblestone, then this stops crafting. So there shouldn't be a case where the recipe breaks. And the clock is slow enough so that this never crafts more than it receives of cobblestone, so it can't break like that. So I realized why this was breaking. Okay, let's go here. So yeah, it's a interesting way it works. So the way that this was breaking is an interesting way. So let's see how many. So we have this cobblestone, so it enters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So every cycle we get 9 cobblestone. So let's say it goes like this. Okay, we get 9 cobblestone. That problem, and it waits until it can give more cobblestone so that it can craft a dispenser. So let's say it needs 7 cobblestone to craft a dispenser. Okay, so we have 7. So this crafts 1 dispenser. Okay, let's say this is a dispenser. So it crafts 1 dispenser, but then these other 2 stay here, so it gives a signal here. That means it crafts another dispenser. The problem is that since this only had 2 cobblestone and it needed 7 more, that meant that it needed 5 more. So basically it crafted 2 and we lost 5 cobblestone here. So that meant that this would have 5 cobblestone less, and then the next cycle it will have 5 cobblestone less, and the next cycle 5 and 5 and 5 until it runs out of cobblestone. And when it ran out of cobblestone, then a redstone would get inside. So that's why it was failing. And the problem is that I didn't have this, so this guy would craft whenever there was something in here, it will start crafting, so it can craft. That's why when it reached 2 cobblestone, then it would craft. Like I should have only put 7 hoppers here. If I had 7 hoppers, then it would craft 1, and then it recovered all the recipe. That's the problem of why it was failing. So to fix that, what I did was add this module. So basically this just makes sure that there are always items here, so then the recipe will always get complete before it crafts another dispenser. So then the redstone, I already have this, so I have this crafter that is changing, so it only crafts when this has items. So when it has rest, the only one that isn't crafted is when the bows are like this, because as you can see we don't have any item here. I could fix that, like having like this be here, so then it only crafts when there are items here. But yeah, I have it like this. That means that this crafts whenever there is a bow here, which I think it doesn't matter here in bows. But I regardless of if it matters, because this already has, this is filled with a string and filled with wood, so then there will never be a moment when the wood and the string runs out, especially because I have been restocking everything. So I don't know if it can break in the case that I don't have bows. I imagine it can't, because it's different from this one, at least, because this will craft only one bow every cycle, so it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, now this shouldn't break, which is good. But yeah, I have to get the resource, because the farm that I want to do next is one of the biggest projects, redstone projects that I have done. Okay, so we can see all the material that we need. So we need 5 chokers of iron. Oof. And if we decide, because I also use white concrete for the schematic, but I can make it all with iron blocks, because I have a lot of iron at the moment. I think I have enough to build the complete farm, because we have like 8 chokers. Yeah, I have 8 chokers of iron blocks, almost 9. So yeah, we can build it completely with iron blocks. So yeah, we have almost 5 chokers of iron blocks. Here we have 3 chokers of white stained glass. These oak blocks don't count because they are from the... Well, we have little, like 3 blocks, because this is from the farm, because it turns rooted dirt into mud, and mud into clay, and clay into terracotta. Yeah, oak blocks don't count, and azalea leaves. This clay is not necessary. Okay, yeah, so yeah, let's collect all the items and see how this farm ends up. Okay. So yeah, this is an enormous build. Like, this is one of the biggest farms that I have built in this world. It's the biggest, definitely. So this takes a long time because of all the intricacy that it needs. So basically, this is a lot of the redstone comes from Ilmango. So yeah, this is a mod to clay converter, which is designed by Ilmango. That's why we needed so much dripstone, pointed dripstone. Then there's this mod, the generator. So this turns the dirt or rooted dirt into mud. So this is the same design that I'm using for this mud farm that I made. That is very manual. So basically it's the same design that I have here. And then we have the rooted dirt farm. This is Ilmango's rooted dirt farm, and it's really complicated, and it can break if it doesn't have enough bone meal. But I AFK for the night before I finished building this, and I made sure that there was bone meal all over. Now yeah, now I'm afraid of testing this. It's always a pain to test this kind of stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I added some stuff that the farm didn't have. So basically, Ilmango, what he made when he did the work is use like TNT launchers. So he had like a TNT duplicator here that would blow up the trees, because this pushes the azalea logs, well, oak logs, the oak logs, until they reach to a level where it can no longer push. And if that happens, then the stone can no longer turn into moss and can no longer turn into rooted dirt. So yeah, he would blow up the excess trees, and I usually just build that, but I added this module to get the oak. So what this does is basically when an oak log moves here, then this observer will send a signal, and this piston tape will push all the blocks. And this should be fast enough. There is a delay, like as you can see, this delay. So this, so that when this lock is pushed, it doesn't collide with this and breaks this, because this pushes the two piston tapes into one. So this is for the locks, and I have all of them here. So as you can see, this has like a 4-tick delay, because these guys are like 1 tick, and I haven't tested if all of them work, because while this design usually works, it can fail sometimes. So maybe that's something we have to experiment, because I didn't test it while I was building it. This is a really complicated build, so I wanted to do it as fast as possible. So let's see other things that I added. Okay, so here is where the rooted dirt, the clay or the mud blow-ups, and it falls here. And this is where the oak logs will go here, so it will blow up here. And then everything will go into these filters. As you can see, we already set up all the filters. Let's see, I can't use it. So yeah, we can see like we have 3 for oak, 3 for rooted dirt, 3 for mud, and the rest are for clay balls. So the important part of clay balls is because when clay gets blown up, it will get clay balls, and you will get like from each of those clay blocks you will get 4. So that's why I have so many for clay balls. Now what I do, there is a clock. Oh, there is this clock. Okay, so they basically this crafts the clay blocks, clay balls into blocks, and this dispenser, this dropper throws clay balls as well. So basically I craft all of this into clay blocks, and then I get some clay balls because I want to get bricks. So as you can see in this farm, I am getting terracotta, clay, packed mud, rooted dirt, hay bales, bricks. This is for brick, but I don't have the item frame. Oak and bone meal. So basically I craft the clay blocks and the clay balls, and all of it goes into this hopper minecart. And this hopper minecart is for, I have to turn off the redstone. It's because I have a clock which is forever. Where is it? Here. Okay, so yeah, that's the idea. I get some clay blocks and some clay balls. So all of them goes into this super smelter. So this super smelter will go, and I have 64 furnaces. So there are 32 on this side and 32 on this side. So this super smelter is my design, and it's getting sticks as fuel. Now, at first I was thinking like maybe I should just smelt the oak logs into charcoal, but I thought it wasn't a good idea, because the way this farm works is basically this mod to clay converter, it will fill, so it has to fill all of this. So it goes, let's see, from here, yeah, so it starts filling here, then it pushes down until it reaches here, and then these pistons will push. So one will go push here, other here, other here, other here, other here, other here, other here, and so on. So it's a really slow process. So that's the thing, it's really slow because the clay blocks are very slow. So that's why I thought that charcoal was too overkill, like it's too good of a fuel source. So that means that I would be losing a lot of fuel. So I thought that using crafters was enough, because the advantage is that we can craft from one oak log, we can craft 8 sticks, and this is getting me oak renewably. So yeah, I really don't have to care about that. So that's why all these furnaces are fueled using sticks. So I basically tell the system when it's running out of sticks. So yeah, when it runs out of sticks, then it turns off the crafter. But yeah, I have to make sure that the crafter, that this can keep up. So what I'm doing right now, I still have some parts that aren't light up. I have to put a pearlescent frog light there. So yeah, what I do is I put this. So yeah, basically I get fuel these crafts when this runs out of this amount. So it's like a redstone signal of fate. I don't know how many sticks that is. Here. But yeah, you can see like, oh yeah, I think this is the amount of sticks. So when this goes lower than that, this should start crafting, and this should. But yeah, the idea is that when this runs out, I should make the signal the other way around. Yeah, I should make an AND gate instead of doing it like this. Yeah, let's see if I know how to do an AND gate that fits that space. Because it's important that the two of them, right, don't run out. Okay, I need... So this is an OR. Then this is an OR. And I think an OR is an AND if I invert the signal. This is something called, I think, DeMorgan. But I don't know how to do it. Okay, I'm complicating myself. See, let's put it like this. Oh, no, it's, I have to invert both signals. And then make an OR. And this. Maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Well, I have to check it. I can check it like this. I have something that... Okay, let's see if it works like an AND or an NAND. I don't remember. This is crafting. Oh, sent a signal. Okay, let's see. If I do this correctly, so this is giving a NOT, and the both of them are off. So if both of them are off, it should be 0. Okay, so 0 0, it's 0. That's fine. Now I turn on this and it's still a 0. As you can see, this is a 0. If we turn off this, it's a... Oh no, now I put the signal both. Okay, so yeah, if the two are on, that means this is an on. Now if this is on and the other is off, it should be off. Okay, yeah. So we have proof that this is a AND gate. So you can get you can use an OR to make an AND. And need to do this and this. And this should turn on the... Oh, it didn't. Okay, now it's off. Okay, I'm going to turn off... Well, I should remove the all this scaffolding first. Yeah, let's remove this scaffolding. I can make... Okay. So yeah, I am not going to pick that much scaffolding, like I already have a lot. Okay, we are going to check if this works. The first, I think I will test the rooted dirt first. Okay, this should start crafting. So we have the bone meal farm, and we should have this one that is going to be very, very dangerous. So this all should be full with bone meal. Let's test. Because the only way that this can break is if this doesn't have enough bone meal. Yeah, everything should have bone meal because I have AFK for the night. Okay, let's go. Hey, what's the first thing that can happen? Now this is going to be filled with stone. Filled with stone. Okay, it's filled with stone. Now a tree grew here. This should fill with stone. We got our first rooted dirts. Okay, this is getting full. Rooted dirt. Grow, grow, grow. Okay. So it seems that it's working at the moment. We have to wait until we eventually have enough for the oak to start working. Okay, so since the video is already long enough, I'm going to leave it here and then check the rest of the farm in the next episode. So thanks for watching, bye!